Hello everyone, welcome back to Solasta Crown of the Magister, Cataclysmic Ironman run. After 2 sessions where we first got introduced to one another and then got our position on the Legacy Council, it is now time to head out on the road over to Cataclysm and see just how dangerous the Badlands can be when the game is really out to kill you on Cataclysmic mode. So we'll leave the area. There is Cataclysm. Here we are at a well-settled place offering basic services, and we can see various undiscovered locations in the Badlands around us. So for now we only have one location we can travel to, so let us do that. It's going to be 3 days at a normal speed. That will be 12 rations that are required, or 8 rations for 2 long rests rather. And let's just check our travel settings. Interrupt when long rest has been completed. Sure. Interrupt when a character can level up, of course. Interrupt when an item has been crafted, yes. Cast Goodberry and cast Create Food when long resting starts. If we ever get those spells, that will be fine. So let us start travelling at a normal pace for 60 miles. We did not find food. We found some Galavan Amaranth. We set camp, and we have been surprised by bandits almost immediately. So 3 unknown creatures and another unknown creature. We are surprised, which means we are going to have the surprised condition during this fight. So they will all take a turn, then we will miss our turns, and then we'll be back into initiative from the top of the order as standard. Oh god. Okay, they're coming down to us rather than shooting us from above. And these others have spawned on the rock to the other side. We're still getting through our surprised conditions. And we are now back at the top of the order. So something worth remembering is that we are effectively in the middle of a long rest, and when you finish the long rest you get back all of your powers, spell slots, health and abilities. So there is no reason why we shouldn't use everything in our power to win this fight as efficiently as possible. So I think right here I'm gonna Thunder Wave, because I can do this on the correct angle to hit the 2 that are stood next to us. And they both make their saving throws, so they take 6 thunder damage each. They are attacking us whilst our paladin is within 1 tile of us, so we can force disadvantage on this attack. Right, now we have our cleric. And there are 3 enemies around us. So I think inflict wounds is going to be great here. So this will do a melee spell attack and then 3 d10 damage on a hit. Let's hit the one who's already been damaged slightly so we can try and remove them from the turn order. It'll mean then we have a better action economy fighting 4v3 rather than 4v4. And we... did we miss? Yes, 10 missed. So we missed that spell, unfortunately. We can cast Shield on ourselves as a wizard. That will increase our armor class by 5, meaning that attack turns to a miss rather than a hit. And now we have our paladin If we move from where we are, we won't be able to defend everybody, which is unfortunate. But equally, we can't really hit anyone from where we're stood. Also, Cure Wounds and Bless. Bless could be really good. But I think my preference is to just get over there and attack somebody. So that's going to be this guy over here. And we hit on a 12 and we can smite for 2d8 extra radiant damage, I believe.
Again.
There they are. And then Scrooge is our rogue. So long as we're attacking with a finesse weapon against a creature that is within 1 tile of an ally, we will get advantage, not advantage, we'll get sneak attack on our attack, which means we'll do an extra d6 damage. Of course, you have to hit them first. I'm assuming their armor class isn't increased because of words are hard, the Cataclysm difficulty. Right, I think another Thunder Wave will be just fine. Unfortunately, the shape of the cube can't fit 3 of our foes in it. So we have to make a choice of 2. And we'll attack in this direction because one of them is already quite injured.
Bravo! Victory is yours!
So one of them is dead, the other one is injured. That is a very bad attack. That is 12 damage where we only have 14. So Sarah is at risk of going down already, which is terrifying. I think rather than healing Sarah, we're just going to try and end this fight as fast as possible. Do we want to use a fire burst to cause 3d8 fire damage against a dex save on somebody? I don't see why we wouldn't. So who's next? The injured bandit in front of us. Let's try this here then. So 3d6 for 12 damage. They try and shove us and fail. So we're back to Eve, the paladin. We'll take a step to here and attack this injured one. I don't think we need to smite in order to kill them.
Good.
Excellent choice. And we'll move back to this tile here because from here we can defend everybody with a reaction rather than only 2 of the party on the other side. Scrooge, from where we are, we can attack either of the 2 creatures. The unknown one with full health is up first. So we're going to attack there. That's 11 points of damage. Probably not going to result in enough that Sarah can kill them now. Especially when we are out of spell slots. However, what I think Sarah can do is simply take the dodge action. This will have every foe have disadvantage on attack rolls against us. We can also... An unknown creature is attacking Jonathan, so we can block the attack against Jonathan. Force disadvantage with our paladin powers. And let's give Inflict Wounds another go here. And we'll do it against the bandit who is about to die, so that they don't get another action if we succeed on our attack.
That's battle.
16 necrotic damage is great. Eve, the paladin, now can step up and attack. That's a rough miss, not going to lie. But Scrooge gets to sneak attack now as well. Oh, come on.
Fortune is fickle.
Fortune is fickle. Right, Sarah, I would like you instead now. Does this count as cover? Does not look like it does. That certainly must be cover though. So we're going to disengage. This means that we can move without being attacked by our foes as we move. And we're going to get to here. This is extra armor class for us. And we can block this. And it looks like things are going to be okay. I'm going to assume that we can't be surprised while camping twice. If we can, then we're definitely going to have problems.
You cannot defeat me.
But there is a successful fight. We can see we've been making some survival checks with our +5 to survival, learning about the different creatures which go in the bestiary. And now that that's done, we can pick up any supplies that they have. A lot of supplies. We'll take food, of course. We'll take cash, of course. And then it looks like 4 sets of armor. Dragon Rose is probably a crafting element. That's heavy armor. Several sets of leather armor. A great sword. Scimitars. And multiple light crossbows. So that's basically all of Eve's encumbrance. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem as we travel. There's nothing else here out in the wastes for us, so now we can attempt to finish our long rest, at which time we will recover all of our health, all of our spell slots that we just spent. There we go, so you'll see we're all at full health. Any channel divinity that was spent has been recovered. We can change our prepared spells if we want to, but I don't think we need to. And we carry on our journey. We did not find any food or ingredients. We used... Eve calmed an animal and is thanked gratefully. We read, we tell stories, we rest again. And then without further issue, we get to Caerleon. There's the fort.
That's Caerleon.
We're almost there. It's just up the hill.
Eyes up and hands on hilts, people. These are the marches.
Who put you in charge?
I'm just saying, be ready for anything.
I know campaign 1 was 100 sessions, but it's all coming flooding back. I remember roughly what's about to happen. So our heroes are aware that this is a deadly place to be, so I think going cautious is totally valid, even as much as it's bright daylight out here currently. Because what you should always be prepared for is an ambush.
Oh, what's that smell?
That's me, sorry. Fortifications, slightly odd. Oh, look. Goblins. How many goblins? Where's our rogue? So, the way part of things work here is that if you instigate an attack and get the surprise round, even though I believe Scrooge will have rolled initiative, he basically automatically takes the top point in the order because he was the attack that kicked off all of the initiative here. So he automatically gets the top spot for the initiative. This Goblin Skirmisher is very nearly dead already, and we've maintained our hiding position. So we're just going to step up to here behind this full cover, indicated by the fully shaded shield symbol. We'll end our turn. Then we have Jonathan the Cleric. Now, of course, we would like to kill this Goblin Skirmisher as soon as we can. So let's go with a Firebolt here. Very nice. The 1d10 damage doing enough for us there. There's another goblin way up high, and more of them hiding in various locations, I'm sure. But for now, we're still hidden. So we'll press up against this rock. They are surprised. Eve is up. Now this guy is trying to perceive us desperately, and unfortunately we cannot reach the target with our melee weapon, but that's fine. We can throw a javelin, I believe. Yep, looks like we can throw a javelin at this goblin just fine. 8 damage, just over half. More skirmishes with the surprise condition, not yet taking turns. And then we have Sarah the Wizard. If we could take out this goblin that's watching over us, I'd be very happy. We still get advantage because we are an unseen attacker, while other members of our party have been seen. We have not. And 5 damage, not quite enough, but that's fine. So now 2 of us have been seen. If we just take a step in here, we can all benefit from the disadvantage given from the shield of the paladin. Of course, that can only be done once, but we can all be in place to benefit from it at some point. Now, Scrooge. Probably not going to be able to get sneak attack here, and it looks like we cannot see that goblin. So we're going to have to step back slightly, and you'll see that white line appear in the middle of the HUD. That line indicates that we now have line of sight against this creature. And since they are the only one that we can see, even though it seems like it would be a waste of a sneak attack, we could actually save ourselves an arrow here, perhaps. No, we'll use the short bow because this is 1d6 plus 3, so if we hit, we're guaranteed to do at least 4 damage. On the off chance that they have 2 HP, the cantrip could do 1 damage and keep them alive. And because they died, they do not get to make a perception check against us, so we maintain our hidden status. And we're just going to move up to this corner here, make a little bit progress up the hill. Now, Jonathan the Cleric, I think we can move up. We don't have line of sight on that guy over there, nor do we have line of sight on anyone over here. So we could take the dodge action. This would allow any attacks against us to be forced at disadvantage. But what we can also do is we can ready an action, and we can ready a ranged cantrip, so that if something comes in our line of sight, our readied action is triggered, and we hit them for 7 damage, which is lovely.
You're still in the fight, my friend.
That is a rough time for Sarah. Unfortunately, because we had a javelin equipped for our ranged attack, we were unable to shield ourselves with our shield, so our AC is currently 16 instead of 18. But we will progress forward, and with few other options, we'll throw a javelin again. This is going to be at disadvantage because of how far away we are, I believe. but we still do 4 damage, which is great. More skirmishers coming out of the woodwork. And Sarah the Wizard is down.
Of course you've been detected.
Okay. Our rogue is still hidden, so we are still able to get sneak attack.
Can't say I'm surprised.
10 damage is good. We are no longer hidden, however. And I'm just going to step over to here to try and offer Sarah some level of cover. Our cleric here can either walk over. Fortunately, he has 7 units of movement because of his elven ancestry. We can either move back to here and use our action to try and make a medicine check to stabilize. We can move back to here and cast the cantrip Spare the Dying to stabilize our dying friend. Or we can cast the bonus action spell Healing Word and bring them up with 1d4 plus modifier HP. So we've done that. They're no longer dying. Now, what this also means is that because we spent our bonus action casting a spell, whilst we can still use our main action to cast a spell, it must be a cantrip.
Gotcha.
And unfortunately, that is a low damage roll here. Okay. Might be time to step out with our paladin. Not only will this mean we have a greater chance of hitting our foe because we'll be using our preferred modifier, but also
You have them now.
we now have our shield equipped again, which means we'll have a higher AC moving forward. So Sarah spends half of her movement standing up from a prone position, and unfortunately we cannot reach the target. We can try and hit them with a fireball from here, but I think what's going to be easier for us is magic missile is a guaranteed hit, so we'll put 2 there, and as for other foes, this one up here is the one that we can see.
I win again.
Good, the one down here died, which is what we wanted to see. And now, rather than standing here, where we're only gaining half a benefit of cover from Scrooge, we can tuck ourselves in this corner and we get +5 AC from standing in full cover. That's where you were hanging out. Right, Scrooge. This goblin is now stood next to Eve, and whilst we cannot close that gap as we are, we can use our cunning action to dash as a bonus action, which will get us all the way to here. And now we are stood next to an enemy that is stood next to an ally, and so when we attack here, a crit would have been sneak attack damage, but they died from our 2d6 weapon damage anyway. d8 weapon damage even. Then the cleric. We only have one guy left, that one up there. So I think... So what's the problem here? We don't have line of sight quite from where we are. So we'll move over, stand next to our paladin so we can benefit from their defenses. And then let's try Sacred Flame here. Okay, they take 5 radiant damage. And then Eve the paladin. If we want to hurt them, We're going to need to throw another javelin, unfortunately.
Run while you can.
But we have succeeded in that task.
Where did those goblins come from?
Where did they come
Some hole
from?
in the mountain, I guess.
That is a mystery to uncover soon. First of all, let's gather all the stuff here that we want. So we can keep taking all of these weapons. But as we have been told previously, the scavengers will come and collect all this stuff if we don't wish to pick it up because of its weight. And then they'll just take a cut of whatever they sell it for. But for now, we're just going to go around, collect what we can from this fight. We've spotted some tracks leading in that direction. And we'll take this last piece of loot. And we have survived the encounter with the goblins. We survived our first encounter with bandits on the road. And so we can see now, if we go over to our bestiary, after these encounters, we have 2 of 4 knowledge about bandits. We can see their AC is 12, their HP is 22. Normally, I think this would have been 11, but it's at 200% thanks to our difficulty level. And other creatures, basic goblins, goblin skirmisher, highwaymen. So you see on level 1, we know their size and their name, but not much else. Whereas at level 2, we can see their HP and their AC, but not their stats, their immunities, or their attack rolls. So hopefully we'll learn more about those in the coming sessions. But in any case, that is all for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you're enjoying the new series, please do let me know. I hope you're excited about this Cataclysm run on Ironman as I am. I'm looking forward to the tension that is surely going to ratchet up very quickly as we hope to not see our game save die and the current version of the series with it. Thank you ever so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Cheers! My computer may have crashed. Something's not right. I hope this saves correctly.